What's up, everybody? Some of you guys just don't understand the life of a YouTuber. One specifically who's about to talk about tech, who can't get a piece of tech to work to save his life. This is like the third time I'm going to try to record this video for you guys, to which hopefully it works and you are able to hear it, see it. Hang on, there's one thing I gotta, we're going to go nice and big so you can see me. Alright, so we're going to talk about investing, right? I haven't made the thumbnail or a title yet, but I know it's going to be how to make millions in a recession. Excuse me, how to make millions in a recession. Life-changing money. It can be made. And I'm going to start talking about investing on this channel. So this is going to be my mindset video for that. It's going to be vague on the details, company-specific details. But definitely more mindset to investing in general, right? There's a lot of gurus out there online, and they're very quick to be super hyped on a green day and pretend like they're up, you know. And as you're watching these other influencers, you guys have to understand, less red is not green. There is a difference. They won't tout that day. But there's a lot of things they say that actually are truth. I word it that way because they throw out a lot of things and they'll just say it like tongue-in-cheek. They don't actually know what they're saying. None of their actions support that, at least. But you guys have all heard, Warren Buffett. Buy when everybody's fearful, sell when they're greedy. And if you want to make life-changing money, this is the... I hate saying this is the time to be buying, because this is not financial advice. Another thing I'm not going to do is disclaimer it every 5 seconds, right? I'm not going to say due diligence every 5 seconds. Figure it out. You're an adult. You're a big kid. Put your big boy pants on and make a decision. There's things I'm going to say which are my opinion. You have to develop your own. I can explain it to you. I can't understand it for you. That is 100% on you. I'm not clicking the buy button. I never will. You can never come back and say, I bought... what Don did and I lost all my money, because you probably A, didn't buy like I did, B, didn't buy what I did, or if you did, we're in the same boat. I pick an instrument. Let's play an instrument like they did on the Titanic as it's going down. But let's talk about investing, because the time, like I said, to make the life-changing money, to make the millions of dollars, obviously not from $1,000 but is to be buying in a recession in the dip. Now, I've said this a lot. You won't know the difference between an investor and a trader, like who's profitable or not, because it takes you a long time to figure out if an investor sucks, because they love to show things off like, no, it's a 5-year horizon. 5-year horizon. They'll tell you all the bullish reasons day to day. This headline said this, it's bullish. Look how much I'm up this day. Look how much I'm up this day. Look how much I'm up this day. And all the red days, it's 5-year outlook. I believe in the company. Did you see they had long lines? You know, did you see this? And it's all the excuses. Now, that's an emotional roller coaster that's just going to get you guys in trouble. You have to have this mindset. You have to have all these answers, all the questions answered before you ever click the buy button. And I trade every day. I time the markets every day. I haven't met another investor that does that, because most of them are very closed off as far as their mindset goes. They'll just tell you trading's gambling and whatever. You can just find out if I'm profitable the next day versus listening to your excuses for 5 years and then realizing my money just disappeared. So I like tech, and that's also why I'm making this video, because I'm going to be talking about my positions. I'm not talking about yours because, well, I'm not you. And tech's greatest advantage is also its biggest weakness. Simply for the fact that tech is going to do a couple things when it comes out. First of all, there's every nerd in this continent, or globally, is trying to invent some new technology that's better than the one that already existed, or doesn't even exist yet. It is just a constant, I am going to beat you. That is around the corner no matter what. In the lifespans, I think I deleted it. This is good. All right, so the lifespan of tech is, now if you're looking at a price chart, you'll watch a new tech get announced, money comes in. This is going to be big. You got the believers. And then a lot of them are just going to dud out. They're not going to pan out. They were hopeful. They were wishing. They were really excited. Had some valid points even. It's just not going anywhere. It's going to look like pot stocks. You remember when everybody was buying those because it's going to be legal, you know? Cool. And if you did that, you don't have to tell me how much you're down. You either A, traded it and you made some money, or B, you're just down. You watched your money go green and then just red. All right, so here is the S-curve that technology follows. Most people leave this part off. So it's brand new, infancy stage. We're getting some traction. We're booming. We've boomed. We're doing well. The new technology. The new technology, this right here, is a new company right here. Now, I'll give you an example of this. Netflix. Netflix is right here. Blockbuster, right here. Talking that crap. Blockbuster had the opportunity to buy Netflix, and it didn't. Next thing you know, Netflix is reading a eulogy at Blockbuster's funeral, taking it over. And which brings me to my next point. There's the other way technology is going to pan out. You're going to pick the right one. And it's going to sink its little meat hooks in, and it's going places. You're going to go for a ride, you know, because you're just going to get these giants that no one starts a giant, but it's coming, you know, and then they do it. They go big, and this is not any specific timeline, you know. Let's say Tesla. I think Tesla's probably in between these two. Tesla could just be here. Could be here for years. You know, I'm not saying we need to go one step. This is 1 month, 2 months. We could hang out. It can go backwards. When it's a new technology, you don't know what you don't know. So what sounds good and sounds hopeful, and you guys have all heard Elon say stuff. This is coming out. We're going to have this by this timeline. And that's because, and he's not lying to you. He's not hyping things up. I know a lot of people think that, but they don't really know how technology works. They're very limited on their mind space. On just a side note on that, you got to be open-minded when it does come to this. Again, because you don't know what you don't know. There's also different, I don't want to say different dimensions, but imagine Pac-Man, flat, 2D, two-dimensional. In Pac-Man's eyes, everything is 2D because they just aren't aware of the depths. You know, while we can look at a Pac-Man screen and know it's just flat, Pac-Man looks at us and thinks it's just a flat image. We're on another level. So when Elon says, hey, this is coming out, here we go, he doesn't know what's right around the corner. He doesn't know what kind of hang-ups are around the corner. So we might think we're booming, and here comes a new tech. We take these setbacks. A lot of tech will do that right here. We're coming out. This is coming out. Setback. We're right here. We're going to do this. Setback. You know, sometimes it takes a while to just notch these things up a little bit. Again, that is the best and worst thing about tech is it's got to leave this area first. And then when it gets up here, it's like the sharks are in the water. Who can dethrone them? Think of altcoins. Man, there was Bitcoin. Then everyone's like, this is the next Bitcoin. This is going to be better. How many times have you heard that about Tesla? This is the next Tesla. This is the best. Whatever. And it hasn't been. Because when you get the right ones, they pay off exponentially, which is also in the investment game, even the trading game. Risk to reward, it is a scale. You will not gain with that. There's a give and take to everyone. If you want to gain more, you are going to risk more. There is no like less risk and make more. That's not how the game is played. You will always rob from Peter to pay Paul. There will never not be a weak spot somewhere. Now the reason why, now when it comes to picking these tickers, this talk I had like with my mentorship group. When we're looking at buying these, because you guys want to make, you're probably watching this because you want to make the generational wealth, financially free, the life-changing money, the millions of dollars, everything all the gurus on YouTube try to teach you. You got to be good about picking the right ones, because a lot of tech companies start here and end here, and a few handful make it to this stage. Now that handful pays for quite a few of these losers, but you know, if you end up getting super diversified, let's say like, okay, Don, I like what you're saying. I'm going to grab 100 stocks. Surely out of the 100, one of those has got to be up. That 100, the one that does pay off, has got to pay for the other 99. So personally, when I invest in things, it's a small group. I'd rather know a lot about a few than try to just know a little bit about all of them, because when you diversify, like, you're almost guaranteeing a loss. It's hard to give the analogy because, like, I have a 50-50 chance of my Tesla position being right. But, you know, if I pick 100, you know, I got 50-50 on all of those. Like, technically, it boils down to 50-50. But what if I just picked 100 bad ones? That would just suck. But let's say we really perfected and just delved into one, and you knew it and you truly believed in it. And by believe in it, you still, even though it's an investment, you're going to ride it out up or down. There's a way to do it. Right now, looking at tech, looking at tech, I think we are at a coin toss right now, whether this is the bottom or it's over there. We got some pain ahead of us. Like, we are going to make it into this just fine. I personally think right around here is going to be the bottom, so we can get like a relief rally, come back down. As a trader, it's neither here nor there, because if this is you're watching this in the future, there's another recession. My mindset's still the same. Right now, a case can be made, I think, that this is the bottom. Kind of leaning to we got plenty more to come. So there's a way to buy at the bottom, and it's not just whole account. Okay, dollar cost averaging, that's the proven method over time. But I like to be efficient when I dollar cost average. I don't like to dollar cost average like the rest of everybody else. You know, you've heard that story. I could teach you a dollar cost average on a pamphlet, and you would never need another video. I guess in my next video or my next explanation, I probably could as well. But it's kind of boring. Dollar cost average, you guys have to have an income. Right? This isn't coming from fairy tale land. You can't just dream up shares. Things have to happen. So you take that income. You still obviously have to live. Some people are putting everything in there, and I'm seeing the comments, and it's, I can't take it anymore. This is getting down too much. You know, this and that. Like, first of all, this, you need to be not connected to this. This is money you're going to check in 10 years. And I've said that like on many YouTube videos. Like, I'm going to buy this. I'm going to check it in 10 years. My Facebook play, I'll check it in 10 years. Well, I'll argue about if I'm right or wrong then. In the meantime, there will be plenty of ups. There'll be plenty of downs. I won't celebrate either one of them because it won't matter. You know, I really don't care. You can't count it until it's in your hands. When you make that decision to cut or lock it in, decision's been made, then you can pop bottles or tell your spouse what happened. Side note, I will put on a mask and rob you. I'll make it look real for $500. Just throwing that out there. Don't show your wife this video. I'll do it. It's an awkward conversation to have, I can imagine. That being said, how I dollar cost average, you guys have heard this a lot, like with crypto. I've explained it there a lot easier. You need to have that drip coming in. Now, that drip is not your main source. That is just, you got money going in. It's money you don't need to see. It's money you don't care about. Personally, that, you know, like, some people really had to, like, as much as I think Dave Ramsey's cool, but obviously he would never say that about me because I'm in the stock world. You know, like, I don't have a savings account. I think they're kind of pointless. I'm about to 100% contradict myself because I do have a savings account. I don't have like a, you got to save for this many years in a savings account and then leave that alone. Like, my savings is a little bit different. I have money going into my investments and I have money going into a savings account. So that drip is fueling all of those. Now, when we get these dips like this, I have specific levels that, being a trader, I get to call those out. I time the market all the time. As much as I'm not worried about, like, I try to grab the bottom, obviously. I try to buy at certain levels. I like to skip red candles. That's the beauty of how I do things, is you guys will, and now dollar cost averaging is great. I'm not making fun of that at all. You dollar cost average here, your average goes up. Dollar cost average here, you know, your average goes down. You'll watch it gets harder and harder to average. If your drip stays the same and your position gets bigger, it just doesn't really move that much. But I like to hit that thing with a hammer. So I take my savings account, and when we get to these specific levels that I call out, that I feel are a good level, potential bottoms maybe, or at least a relief rally, you know, as much as I don't care where it goes, I'm not going to sell it. You know the feeling. There's just a good feeling about looking in your investment account, and it's just not blood red, you know? Like, I like buying something and watching it go up. Like, good, that money just appeared out of nowhere. It's free. I literally clicked my thumbs a couple times, and poof, more money. It's a good feeling. So that's where I take the savings account and I chunk it in. Now that brings my average down. It doesn't just ramp down. My average just takes hits into it, which is relevant for me because in my investment account, I do sell options contracts against it. If that's not you, that's a whole trading thing. Like you got to options are you can you've heard options are gambling. I know you have, and those people have no idea what they're talking about. They're fear mongering because they don't understand them. You can gamble your account away in options. That's because you don't know what you're doing. If you actually fully understand options and what they're doing, they're not a gamble at all. I call it free money. That's not to lead anybody on. I collect free money all the time. Now, when I'm collecting free money, it's I win a little or I win a little bit more. Those are the only two scenarios I'm ever in. Because I'm selling covered calls. I'm essentially, I'm the casino and I'm taking the YOLOers money. Like, I don't try to hit you know, most people, if you're going to try to even attempt to Google this, I do have a course if you're interested in trading on it, but I do explain what options actually are. There's a lot of things people are doing that are wrong, and we're going to talk about that. But they're trying to learn what options are, and then they're looking up Iron Condor. Like, you couldn't tell me a single thing about Greeks, what an options contract is, none of that. And you're looking up option strategies. That's like, how do I build a roof? And you don't have a foundation, you have nothing, no house, no nothing. Just, we're gonna kick this thing off. We're gonna start with a roof. I'm just gonna start throwing shingles on something. Nothing's gonna happen. You're just gonna be disappointed. So careful when I say that, but they're not a gamble if you know what you're doing. You have the ability to be the house. The gambler or the house. So anyway, back to the making money part. Most people, and you've probably done this yourself, you fell for some hype. Maybe you just jumped in the game late. It was hard to argue with some of these YouTubers because they got that high energy. I'm only known for being a dick on YouTube. Like, people say my energy or my delivery sucks. I get that's kind of who I am as a person. I'm just not a good salesman at all. I'm more of a, here it is. There you have it. You know, so on green days, first of all, when you're watching these other guys, and I'm not doing this to pick on other YouTubers, they're doing their job. It's still a business. It's a red flag for me. When they're super excited that something's green, tells me they're not comfortable with green, or they're trying to hype me up for something. Like, you know, like, imagine somebody wins the jackpot at a slot machine. They're jumping around, they're hollering, they're excited. That doesn't happen that often. That's what it reminds me of when these guys are on YouTube with the shocked thumbnail faces and, oh my gosh, holy smokers, look at my position. Like, yeah, does that not happen? Is that not normal for you? Or, like, what's up with this? Because it shouldn't be that emotional. But maybe that was you. Okay, and you jumped in the game late. You finally got a break from work because Rona's running rampant, and you're at home. Money's just falling from the sky because our government's like, hey, we heard you want free money. And they gave it to you. And you're like, heck yeah. Now what can I do with this? This guy keeps talking. The YouTube algorithms keep shoving this crap in my face. These guys are hyping this stuff up. There's more green candles than red. It's going up. You played the trend. You've heard the trend is your friend. You've heard time in the markets, not timing the markets. And you bought, you're probably somewhere around here, and you think you're doing good. And then it just turns red. You were buying in the management phase, not the buy phase. This is like people buying real estate at that peak when it's all hyped up. There's a huge difference. The money is made when you buy, and I've even heard people say that on YouTube. I don't think they really dive into the context of that. We're not making money buying this tiny red candle. Like, that's a trader's thing, not an investor's thing. You're making money in the recessions. Okay, now this is assuming you can pick the right one. We are going to cover that. But money's made at the cheap side. You got to win at the buy. You know, people made money when they bought right here. You know what's going on right here? They're not making money. They are watching their money grow. There's a huge difference in that. Because when I'm in positions right here and it's up here, I'm kicked back. My feet are on the desk. I got stops way down here. I'm not even worried. You're over here trying to play super ninja, super investor. You're trying to get in this thing, trying to snipe something out. My money's already been made, and you're trying to buy up here, trying to catch up with me. You think you can catch up. You're going to try to go hard, and you're going to completely establish the cushion I already have. because I bought down here, and you bought when you finally heard about it on Facebook. It's just not the time to be buying. Which, if you're dollar cost averaging, you are buying as it goes up. Don't try to take all this out of context. I know someone's going to, but for the other 85% of you that just understand what I'm saying, thank you. All right, so while all that sounds fine and dandy, okay, Don, you said buy red candles. There's a sea of red candles. How could you be wrong? And this has got to be where I see the most mistakes get made. And I see it all the time. People try to sell me positions all the time. So running a mentorship, being a mentor, and I've helped literally at this point thousands, which I think is absolutely awesome. But when someone's in a position and their confidence isn't there, I can always tell because they're trying to sell me this position. Don, please just agree with me because I'm going to be divorced if it doesn't go up. You know, they think I can just speak things into existence. But their reasons are the company's doing their job. That's it. And huge red flag for me. If you've ever told me there's long lines, I think you're dumb. I shouldn't use that word. I'm sorry. Jeremy from Financial Education. I don't mean to name drop. I heard on one of his videos he was looking in a hotel room. He saw light, like looking in the windows, he saw the lights were on, people were in there. Sounded kind of creepy. He also looked at a fridge at a store. Tattoo Chef, there was more TV dinners there. Sweet. And there was long lines. He was so bullish Walgreens because he used to work there or something. He goes, you know what? People have to come in to get the vaccine, and they're not just going to get there. They're going to buy stuff. They're going to rummage around and buy stuff off the shelf. Like, yeah, that's the idea. Yeah. If they weren't even doing that, I wouldn't even be talking about the ticker in general. Those aren't reasons to buy. That is only reasons to even have a conversation about the ticker. If you buy tickers like that for those reasons, you're probably not doing well. One, imagine looking at a refrigerator, talking about a refrigerator refresh or reset or something like that, and you're basing your decision off of a TV dinner. Hey, last week there was only one option. It was cauliflower pizza. I told everybody how awesome it was. And now there's like frozen peas or something. I don't know what they have. You know what you just did there? You took one sample size. That's it. You didn't look at every store. You don't know the fundamentals of the business. You're just like, oh, I'm going to make a TV dinner. It tastes good. There's no argument to be made about knowing the product. Yeah, you probably want to have your hands on it, because if you were to try that and it was absolute dog crap, we wouldn't be talking about it. So there's reasons like that are the only reason to even, like, here's the ticker pile of I don't even want to talk about it, and then there's the ticker pile of we can dive a little bit deeper. I like the cauliflower pizza. Let's check out. I'm not going to buy because there's 2 TV dinners now instead of 1, but let's check out the filings. Let's see what's going on, because that will tell me a lot. The financial statements, that tells me about the company. I know at least if they're losing money, are they losing less? I can see the curve. I can see the fingerprint of that company. More importantly right now, I can give you guys a red hot clue. Everything is down right now. It's all red. Okay? Now, when things drop like this, when we do get crashes, liquidity dries up. Now, in that process, you find out what's on clearance and what's on sale. I haven't said that in a while. Huge difference. Because there's things like SoFi, absolute dog crap. I did look at some of their financials because I thought maybe I'd get sold on that because someone said they're losing less money, and they are. The curve is definitely there. But they're issuing shares like they're going out of style. Like, there's a reason SoFi's $7 and Tesla's $700. And it's just because one's on sale, one's on clearance. Someone's saying, please buy this. Just get it off our hands. And they're going to issue shares as many as you want, it seems like, with their dilution. Well, Tesla's just, hey, we got a lot of extra shares. We'll put on sale. We'll move some out the door. Like if you were to picture, if I were to paint that image for you. When you see liquidity dry up, there's just puddles of things, and those puddles of liquidity are the ones that people are in, and that's cause for conversation. Question: why do people still like this one? And then now we can have the conversation: is this hype? Are they just dreaming at this point? Or like I hear a lot of people talking about SoFi. They got a charter and all that, and that's cool, but the chart and everything about that just tells me it's not coming back. Now maybe I'm wrong. Again, these are my opinions, and I would never actually argue with anybody if that's, you know, where you chose to put your money. Again, ultimately it's your decision, not mine, and I don't care because you're not my account, you're not in charge of my bills. So if you can hold an argument with me, you know, like the only time I ever argue with anybody, I'm not even arguing, I'm just questioning. If you told me something and I start poking holes in it, then I want to know. Let's fill those things in. It's not an argument. I wouldn't even call it a debate. But maybe I am interested. If you can sell me on why I should be in SoFi, you're going to tell me your reasons. I'm going to tell you why all that's crap. Now, if I push back and you start coming back at me with a bunch of, you know, like a bunch of more holes for me to fill, we're probably not getting somewhere. But again, so there's the selection phase. And I just do not care if the company is doing their job. That's not a bullish reason. That's like, to me, telling me Amazon sold something online. And that just thrills me to death. Thanks. They sold something online. Did you buy something? Should I buy it off of that? No, they did their job. I've made fun of this a lot because I'm a real estate agent. And you know what nerves me out? When I see other real estate agents posting pictures online. Just sold a house. Haha, selfie. And like, all right, cool, thanks, you did your job. That is like a Walmart cart boy. I said this a bunch. Gathering up all the carts, he runs to the end of the Walmart, same action. Hey guys, whole row of carts, by myself, did my job. You want me to praise you for that? You want me to buy something off of that? No. Tell me why you're going to be closing 5 million houses in the next 5 years. Why you're going to run something. Why you're going to change the world. Why are you going to be exponentially better? You know, that's why, again, Tesla is my biggest position. Also why I'm making this video now, because going forward, when I talk about my investments, they are going to be tech. I'm fully aware of this. And like I said in the beginning, tech's biggest advantage is also its biggest downfall. It's the biggest pro and con, because in the tech world, we got this. I'm trying my best to buy tech tickers probably right here. Tesla was one I bought here in the beginning phases because I could just see the writing on the wall. I was super bullish. They were the only company worried about battery tech. They were building from the foundation. You know, and Tesla's still right here. Still plenty of growth. I think it's still a giant. You know, I'm not investing in Netflix because I think it's on its way out the door. We're just waiting for one tech to replace that. Not just competition, like that's coming, and then new tech's coming out, and then that one's over with. There's no meat on the bones for me, I don't think. So while Netflix has sold off, you know, okay, we're at a cheap valuation, or maybe it's cheaper. Be careful with cheap and or like a good deal versus it's just cheap compared to all-time highs. Nothing has to get back to that. I would hope mine get back and surpass that level. You know, I really certainly hope that, and I hope every ticker you guys buy does do that. But for me, when I'm looking at these tech companies, I'm thinking, all right, that one's over here. Maybe I do still like it. Maybe it's right here. You know, we could spend a few years on the tail end. We could spend a few years of just being a powerhouse. Netflix didn't just push up and go right down. There's still plenty of money to be made here in the top phase. You know, after Blockbuster got deceased, and then they're just making content, we're up here, and we've been here for a while. That's fine. And how I'll manage that, because not every ticker is equal. There's some here. There's some that are here that I still like. Some that are down here that I don't really care for. But if I still like them, I still see some growth. There's some potential. I measure that in allocation. Hey, I'm balls deep in this thing because I truly believe in it. Or this guy really had some solid arguments. I wasn't really entirely sold, but man, does it all make sense. I like it. I don't want to. Yeah, that's not the hill I'm dying on, but I agree. Then I'll buy it, but my allocation's way less. You know, like if I were to buy SoFi, it's down. My allocation down. I know, and some people love to think because it's $7 I can buy 1 million shares, but I'm more worried about. I'm not worried about how many shares I have. I'm more worried about my allocation in there, like my liabilities. How open am I to this thing just getting destroyed? So. Again, back to what I was saying as far as where are they going to be in 5 years? Because if you tell me they're just, well, Amazon sells stuff online, and in 5 years they're still going to be selling stuff online. Cool. That sounds like you're explaining this to me. Where's the growth? Like Google is just perpetually stuck right here in the middle because Google knows it's a powerhouse, and Google's just buying all the tech companies right here. Google's all the diversification you need. Alphabet's like, are they doing something? Buy them. Buy them. Buy them or snuff them out. You know, so Google's just staying right here. It's just in a constant growth phase. Tesla, I think Tesla's still in one of these. And Tesla's a unique one. I had a whole video about Tesla because there's a lot of companies, and I hate to pick on SoFi so much, but there's these people who will just sport these things and these ideas, and they're hopeful. And maybe they're not lying to you or trying to scam you, but they have just dreams of blue skies and rainbows, and they're just going to cure cancer. You know, they got it figured out. The future is bright. And it just never comes to fruition. It never happens because all they are is talking. There's a lot of things that Elon has done and has said that is literally just talking. Yeah, the Tesla Semi, the Roadster, the Space Wedge, like, you know, the truck. There's a whole lot, like full self-driving. That's not coming out anytime soon. Like I told you guys before, if you believe full self-driving is coming around the corner this year and next, you're just younger than me. You don't know how the world works. Just like tech, you know, Tesla's biggest pro and con is Elon. But it's also the best example I can give because they've got the pipeline. They've got everything in line. We got the cars, we got Optimus, we got solar. Here's the totem pole, and as we perfect each one, we're checking that box and we're on to the next. That is growth for years, which is why that is my biggest position. When I can say, hey, they got this, that. Not only are they just saying that, but it's all started. They at least got the prototype of the Space Wedge out. They have Solar City. They have a lot of things that they've already started. It's on the back burner. Still catching some heat, but it's not really anything. You know, when they light the fires to that, then it's taken off. That seed has been planted. It just needs to be nurtured at this point. You know, that's why I like a company. In 5 years, I can tell you they're doing this, and that. They have a real, tangible timeline or item right now. Like, the hardest part is getting it. Now you have to grow it. If they already have stuff there, now we're just talking about growth. It sounds like we're here. You know, we got Nano Dimension with their 3D printing, which is one I have. Allocation-wise, it's light because I think 3D printing is huge. I think it's definitely right here. We're going to perfect that, though, and with technology, it comes like a light switch. They can turn it on and just go. But right now, I wouldn't call it vaporware. We're not far off. You know, while that technology could be huge, the 3D print microchips, your motherboard is like this big, flat. Imagine if it was just on a 3D chip, and now we're talking the size of a Rubik's Cube, but it has everything. It's efficient. We can make the same size and be so much more or so much more compact. There's so many things you can do with not taking up all that real estate of a huge chip. If you can 3D print a chip, that's changing the world. But how long are we going to be in this phase? And I guess a bad example is, let's say Elon wasn't here. We're putting we're putting some money into battery tech, but battery tech just can't leave here. Then you got Bill Gates talking about nuclear or something, and then all of a sudden nuclear goes from here to here, while battery tech goes here. Now the attention and drive goes to here on nuclear, and battery was just a cool idea that never happened, and if it were to happen, it can never be this efficient. So you run the risk of, if this doesn't take off, is somebody going to replace it? Is it ever even going to hit that ramp? Is it ever going to get off the ground? So I know there's been a long way to say, be selective on what you buy. Now is the time to start dollar cost averaging into things, I think. I'm not telling you, again, I do not care what you do at all. Unless you guys want to show up and start paying for my bills, then I'll be worried. Like, okay, do you got enough to pay for yourself? And you're going to pay for me? Why are you in some junk crap? I don't trust that. Until that happens, I don't care. You got your big boy pants on. You're the one clicking the money around. It's not me, so I'm not disclaiming it. Do your due diligence. It's not just some silly excuse I'm going to hide behind. Like, oh, I like this. But you do your due diligence. No, you just figure out what you want to click the buy button on and tell me about it later. Tell me a cool success story. Ultimately, it will never be my fault. It will always be yours. So have some responsibility. So anyway, to sum everything up, I'm investing in tech. I don't think there's a solid case for the bottom not to be in. I'm 50-50 on it, if not 60-40, as in 60 we see some more damage. But There are things now that are too cheap that I can't ignore. Google's one of them. Google, Amazon, Tesla, Facebook. I wasn't even a huge fan of Amazon because what I can tell you is they're just selling stuff online. They do have growth, and it's amazing the fact that when they see somebody else doing good, they're like, I like that. They're either going to work for us or we're going to delete them and we're going to make our own. Like that's still some growth. But going forward, I'm fully aware of tech's disadvantage and advantage at the same time. And if you're not, don't follow what I'm doing. If you don't fully grasp and understand what I'm doing, maybe you just stick around for the entertainment purposes. Don't try to gobble up everything I'm buying. Because what I'm buying right now, I say this a lot. If you want to know how much further something has to go down, it's this little number right here. Okay? Like right now, Tesla has about $658 more to go to zero. Okay? I can tell you how much SoFi has left over. $7. So I'm potentially buying the most expensive crap out there. So I'm at the high stakes table. I'm gonna get dealt a flop, or hopefully I win a few. But the difference is I fully understand what I'm getting myself into, my risk. I trade for a living, and with that money, that's what's funneling into all my other investments. So should my investment account go to zero, let's say a super hacker comes out, cleans that things out, just hacks into the broker, changes my account name and information to just all him. They can never find me again because my account's still there. It just looks like it's somewhere else. I would still be alive. I'd still be fine. The lights are still on. Until I turn them off because I'm coming to hunt that person down. A lot. You know, you guys should be in that same boat. Don't get super emotional because it's green. It's cool to feel good. But if you are super hyped because it's green one day and it's in your investment account, that's a red flag you need to check. Because that shouldn't be it. That tells you emotions are tied to it. You have too much of your life riding on that, and you need to chill that out right now. Anyway, let me know. Actually, here's your one takeaway from this video. My call to action. It's always the like, subscribe, and all that. But if you had to whole account, gun to your head, whole account, you can only withdraw in 10 years. Which ticker would it be? You can give me a why if you want. But what ticker would it be if all you could do was one ticker and that's it? So I'll wrap it up here, guys. Yeah, let me know with that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.